16 of the nation's top retired military commanders are urging Congress to pass gun control legislation, arguing that there are many steps that can be taken to curb gun deaths that do not violate the Second Amendment. In a letter they plan to send to congressional leaders, the retired commanders, including Army Gens Wesley Clark and Michael Hayden, Navy Admiral Eric Olson, Air Force Lieutenant General Norman Sipe and Marine Brig General Stephen Cheney, argue that Congress is no longer speaking or voting for the majority of Americans, including gun owners, when it comes to the issue of firearms. There is no acceptable excuse for our elected leaders to avoid addressing this as a national crisis, they write. The group is part of the Veterans Coalition of a gun control group founded by former U.S. Rep. Gabrielle Giffords and her husband, Mark Kelly. They laid out their arguments in a letter they plan to send to congressional leaders. The retired military men and women said that, as military leaders, they defended the Constitution and have considerable firearms training. As Americans, they said, they find the level of gun violence across the country unacceptable, calling the shootings that killed 58 people in Las Vegas in October and 26 in a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, in November but the latest instances of shocking horror that the nation has experienced in recent years. Thoughts and prayers will not bring solutions, they write. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the rate of gun deaths rose for the second straight year in 2016, to 12 per 100,000 people. A key House committee moved forward Wednesday on a Republican bill to expand gun owners' rights, the first gun legislation since mass shootings in Las Vegas and Texas killed more than 80 people. The Judiciary Committee was set to vote on a bill that would allow gun owners with a state-issued concealed. A key House committee moved forward Wednesday on a Republican bill to expand gun owners' rights, the first gun legislation since mass shootings in Las Vegas and Texas killed more than 80 people. The Judiciary Committee was set to vote on a bill that would allow gun owners with a state-issued concealed. The letter comes as a House panel this week voted to advance a measure that would expand the ability to carry concealed firearms across state lines. Under the bill, known as concealed carry reciprocity, a person with a concealed carry permit and a photo identification would be able to have a concealed weapon in any state that allows them. The gun owner would still have to follow state and local laws regarding where and what type of weapons can be carried. The National Rifle Association has called the bill its highest legislative priority in Congress. The legislation is scheduled for a House vote next week. Its sponsor, Richard Hudson, RNC, said in a statement that the bill is extremely popular and momentum, common sense, and the facts are on our side. Giffords said the bill weakens public safety, and retired Army General Stanley McChrystal said he agrees. In the aftermath of two of the country's worst mass shootings, it's an affront to both our safety as a nation and the common sense of its citizens that Congress would consider actually weakening our gun laws, McChrystal said.